NBA fans, Sixers fans, what's up? Welcome back. We got the old setup. Might as well, we're talking to Ben Simmons video. Might as well throw Ben in the background. Different angle too. I'm looking down on you guys. Why not? Let's talk Ben Simmons trade ideas. I know I told you guys I was gonna upload this video like yesterday, 2 days ago maybe, but what better time than the present, right? Let's talk Ben. First of all, I think one thing I really want to get into right now is the fact that I really think people are criminally underrating the return that we can get in the Ben Simmons type trade. You're seeing, I'm not even going to talk about some of the bullshit trades that I've seen. My favorite one is straight up Ben Simmons to the Golden State Warriors for Andrew Wiggins. Now, I just want to let you guys know, if Ben Simmons is traded for Andrew Wiggins, which he's obviously not, but if that deal got done, I would not only not be a Sixers fan anymore, I would move to, Austria and just live in a log cabin that I built for the rest of my life to avoid anything like happiness, because that would be the worst thing that could ever possibly happen to me in my life. Nothing I like less than Andrew Wiggins and what he brings to an NBA team. So let's just get into what some ideas are, some things I have written down, some things I've seen that I'm going to react to, some just possible trades I think that I've come up with personally to see, what we can get in return for Ben. I also want to talk about the possibility of Ben Simmons possibly just being a Sixer next year, as crazy as that might sound, since I really do believe the city of Philadelphia just shipped him out. They were just no, he's done, he's gone, I don't want to watch him. So we'll talk about that stuff. Before talking about it though, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the family, join the community, do all the kit and caboodle, get that job done. Let's get the 1K so I can put out merch, so I can do some surprises for you guys. A lot in store, get me to 1K so I actually can do what I have planned. That being said, let's get into it. The one, I think, most obvious trade that people have been seeing is Ben Simmons for CJ McCollum, kind of like a swap like that. Financially, it works. Realistically, that's never going to happen. Ben Simmons brings way more to a team, even at the level that he was at towards the end of the season, than CJ McCollum does. And we all know McCollum's lack of ability to score in the playoffs, and his ability that he's bad. He's not a good playoff player either. But that's not going to be a deal you see done. And what's interesting is a Damian Lillard, Ben Simmons combination would be a lethal Draymond Green, Steph Curry type situation. So I think for Portland's sake, hell yeah, you do that deal. But Philadelphia could get much more elsewhere. So I don't think you're going to see Philadelphia make that move at all. A trade I saw that kind of was interesting to me was Ben Simmons straight up to the San Antonio Spurs for Devin Vassell, DeJounte Murray, and the 12th overall pick. I think you could do much worse than this. I still think you could do a little bit more, though. So I don't know if this is a deal that Daryl Morey really feels confident in. And I say that because it doesn't necessarily fit our timeline, though Devin Vassell is a fantastic 3-and-D rookie this past year, and he's a guy who I just envision becoming a very, very good, reliable player in the next 10 years. But, he's not a superstar. And DeJounte Murray is a seriously good defending point guard. I mean, I think he was an All-NBA defensive guy 2 years ago before his injury, and he's a dude that puts up stat sheet stuffs. Dude's average, he could give you 12, 6, and 6 on a nightly basis. He's a seriously good, versatile defender. Devin Vassell is also a really good defender. So I think defensively, the Sixers don't really fall off a cliff. Like most deals, they would fall off cliffs, trading a second player, the Defensive Player of the Year award. So I think defensively, this kind of is not a terrible fall off. Offensively, it's pretty good. Devin Vassell is a guy who can shoot the 3 to 40% clip, near 40% clip. He is a lengthy wing who can just really be really nasty coming off the bench unit, and even possibly starting in the upcoming seasons. And DeJounte Murray is a guy who is a very good point guard, and I think he's a dude who doesn't shoot the 3 ball well, but at least he puts it up, unlike Mr. Ben Simmons here. And so I think that could be fun. I think it could be fun. The 12th pick, too, is interesting. I think if Keon Johnson fell to 12, which I don't think he will, that would be an utter steal. And I really do like the way the Sixers have been drafting these past couple of years. So to be honest, I have faith in this draft process. We'll see if we keep the pick or not, but I have faith in this upcoming draft for the Sixers. But that's an interesting trade. I think a trade that I personally have proposed is Ben Simmons to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Colin Sexton, Kevin Love, and the 3rd overall pick. Now comes the question: is that enough to Cleveland? You know, is Cleveland getting enough in that? And if not, I'd probably throw a protected first rounder. So Ben Simmons and a protected first rounder for Colin Sexton, a point guard who can give you 20 plus a night on any given night on most nights, but isn't a great facilitator. So we're going to lose some passing there. And Kevin Love just to match salaries, but he could give you a nice, 3-point ability off the bench. I know he's old and he's not what he used to be at all, but I think he would be a little bit like a Blake Griffin type situation. He leaves a bad area, comes to a new city, and really kind of flourishes because he's happier and he's not wanting out every single night living in Cleveland. Who wants to live in Cleveland, Can't blame the guy for wanting out. It's Ohio. Nothing's in Ohio. Nothing. Except the Football Hall of Fame. And I don't want to go to the Football Hall of Fame. How many times can you go to the Football Hall of Fame before getting tired of it? I don't know. Tangent. And then the number 3 pick, which, hell yeah, the only reason I would really do this trade, Colin Sexton brings a lot of scoring, and that's something that we need, and a pick and roll with Embiid and Colin Sexton would be pretty good, but also that number 3 pick is super freaking legit. You would assume that Cade Cunningham's 1, Evan Mobley's 2. Jalen Green, man, would be ridiculously ideal in Philadelphia. That man could give you 15 to 20 a game as a rookie. I think he is going to be a serious jump out of the gym 3-level scorer that's going to be an all-star for years to come, and is going to be a guy who's just going to be a top 10, top 15 scorer in the NBA at some point, and that point could sometime be soon. Jalen Green in a Sixers jersey would be unreal. Granted, it doesn't really fit the timeline of Embiid, but Colin Sexton, Jalen Green, and Kevin Love would be a perfect return for Ben Simmons and a first-round pick, so I'm with that too, I hear a lot of people saying D'Angelo Russell. I saw this deal, Ben Simmons for D'Lo and Malik Beasley. I love Malik Beasley, one of my favorite dudes in the league. I don't love him off the court. He's probably going to stop. He's going to have to stop hitting people off the court because I like my players being able to play and not getting suspended. Also, that's just not enough, man. D'Lo is one of the worst volume shooters in the NBA, and defensively, I don't think he's ever even walked on that side of the court, so that's not going to work. Also, Malik Beasley's a seriously good scorer, but again, that's all he brings. And so I would say Minnesota's going to have to throw a first rounder in that deal, and I'm still probably not taking it, if I'm going to be honest with you. But that's the deal I saw. Then people are saying, what about Damian Lillard? What's going to have to be to bring Damian Lillard? All right, well, no shot, but I'll amuse this. Probably Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, some type of iteration of Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, and Ben Simmons, along with 2 to 3 first-round picks for Damian Lillard. Now, I don't hate it. I'd probably do it. I love Tyrese Maxey, but would you say his ceiling is going to be that of Damian Lillard's? Probably not. I love Matisse Thybulle, but that man's probably never going to be there offensively because the Sixers development team is just clearly not good. But I think Ben Simmons and Matisse Thybulle solve the biggest problem in the NBA, which is the Portland Trailblazers defense, and Tyrese Maxey, who's obviously a guy with potential, and 3 first-round picks, which would work, to get Damian Lillard and Embiid, which could arguably make the best duo in the NBA. And I don't think I'm going out on a limb there. I would think it's a not a safe bet, but it's a top 3 duo hands down. I think it's better than any duo you get in Brooklyn, just because of the contrast of it, I think, but don't get me wrong, the Brooklyn's big 3 is crazy, but there's 3 primary ball handlers, and AD and LeBron, crazy, right? But I think the LeBron AD duo is a little bit better because of the contrast they have, but you look at Embiid, who's arguably the best big man in the NBA, and Damian Lillard, who arguably had the best point guard season in the NBA. Talk about contrast, talk about success, talk about what we need as a Sixers organization and getting in Damian Lillard. Hell yeah, obviously I would do that. Then you start to think I really want a top 3 pick. I really want a top 3 pick in this draft. I would trade Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey and 2 firsts for the number 1 pick. Maybe I would bite my tongue on that one. I would trade Ben Simmons for Cade Cunningham, straight up, if they would do that. Hell yeah, I'm doing that. I don't care if Cade Cunningham's 19. No, I don't care. He brings more to the team than Ben Simmons did in the playoffs as a freaking college kid, which is crazy to say, right? Yeah, I'm doing Ben Simmons for Cade Cunningham. I don't think Detroit would do that, but maybe, right? Maybe, probably not, right? Well, you know what? Send it their way anyway. Throw it in the trade finder. See what it takes to get the number 1 pick. It doesn't hurt to talk around the league, to talk to some GMs, ask what's going up, ask what what they want, what they need, and imagine the Pistons fans just absolutely imagine all the slander Ben Simmons has gotten over the past 2 months, right? And be trading him for the number 1 pick. Imagine Pistons fans, they would burn down the city of Detroit. Detroit would just no longer be on the map of the United States. It's in Michigan, right? I was gonna make a Michigan joke, but I don't even know if Detroit's in Michigan. That's bad. That's bad. Don't go to college, kids. You don't get anything out of it. Yeah, so I want a top 3 pick. I don't want Evan Mobley, but I want Cade Cunningham, and I love Evan Mobley, but obviously with Embiid that doesn't fit. There's no reason to that. We already did that whole 9 centers thing. So Cade Cunningham or Jalen Green, yeah, right, yeah. Then there goes. Let's see what else I got. All right, people will be like, what about Zach LaVine? What about Bradley Beal? It really depends on whether or not Bradley Beal just gives up on Washington. I think if Bradley Beal requests a trade, I think Philadelphia is probably the leader for that, because I still think Ben Simmons is probably one of the best players that can be thrown into a trade. So, honestly, a deal that I would probably see is Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, probably Tyrese Maxey. It's going to be something similar to Dame, maybe a little less. I would assume a little less, because Damian Lillard's kind of A-list. Bradley Beal still, to me, is a B-list player. And it's nothing against Bradley Beal. I just don't think he's a top 10 player in the NBA. Top 15, maybe. Maybe. I think he's top 20, but even top 15, I don't think Bradley Beal is. Damian Lillard, on the other hand, is a top 8 player in the NBA. Lillard is more like James Harden, in which you're going to have to give up like a generation's worth of first-round picks to bring in. But the whole point of, what's going on here in Philadelphia is it's obvious to see that our window to win is right now. Embiid is a walking injury. And even when he's hurt, he's better than your team's best center. So I don't even want to hear it in the comment section. But these are just kind of some hypotheses. I don't know. But these are my ideas of what I think is going to be, in the works, maybe. I think Daryl Morey's on the phone a lot. I think a lot of the times you see Philadelphia like, oh, he's going to be brought back. And I think there's a case for that too. I think bringing Ben Simmons back for another year to just honestly give it one last shot. I don't think he's going to ever really improve offensively, but I've always thought he was going to improve offensively, and he hasn't. So maybe by me doing that, he's going to do the opposite of what I've thought, because he tends to do that every year. If there's the ability to have Ben Simmons as a confident scorer versus trading him, I'm keeping him and making him a confident scorer. Obviously, Ben Simmons is one of my favorite players, and knowing how dominant he can be when he's aggressive, it's on another level. The thing about Ben Simmons is he's like literally a top 5 potential player. That's why we all get so mad at him, because he has the potential to be like LeBron James, like literally, and he just doesn't. So give it another year, maybe. And I just don't know if the Sixers have that time to give it another year. That's the only problem. Do we have another year to just kind of feel out? We've had a couple of years of feeling shit out now, and it doesn't feel great. So I think the moves could be in the... I just want a top 3 pick. That's basically this video is I want Jalen Green and Cade Cunningham, 1 or 2. Probably not going to happen. And 99.8% chance the Sixers get neither of them. So don't hold your hopes high. But again, we do have Daryl Morey, and that dude is a psychopath when it comes to trades. So peace.